Good evening and welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief, and tonight we are looking at the Akashi. So it is the Akashi Blended Whisky, and from what I could find out on the internet, it is a 3-year-old ex-bourbon hogsheads and is finished in virgin oak cask. Blend of 30% single malt and it is 70% grain whiskey, hence the blended whiskey. The box itself, zero information, the name, blended Japanese whiskey, and the Agashima distillery on the side of the box, and this exact same label are also transferred onto the bottle, so not a lot of information on it. Bottled at 40% ABV and they come out in 50 centiliter bottles. So box, useless. And if I grab the bottle, exactly the same on it, no information, and name of the distillery, and of course made in Japan. No information on the color. Of course, at 40% it will be chill filtered. So that is the information that I can get on the bottle, and that is the information that you will get on the box. So onto the whiskey itself. Color-wise, no idea. They don't give me that information, but there is rumors that it's 3 years old, and of course they finish it off in virgin oak. Not sure about it, could be totally wrong. Sometimes it's very difficult to find information, or to find information on a website that you know are correct and credible. So a little bit of a difficult one. Maybe Japanese people, when you do something like this, at least give us information, even if it's on your website. So on to the whiskey itself. Color-wise, we don't know, so I'm not even going to bother talking about the color. For me tonight, it's all about the nosing and the tasting. So last night I did open up the bottle, screw top, and I give it a little bit of a time in the glass. Was really not necessary. You open it up, pour it, drink it, and probably forget about it. But what I do like about the whiskies from Japan is the lightness, the fruitiness, but just the overall drinkability. Most of the time, quite low ABV. And of course, this one, 40% ABV, would have been for me so much better at the 46% ABV. So last night I left a little bit in the glass, and this morning I went to nose it again to see what the time has done to it, and it was not flattering. It was like this smelling water. All the nice stuff was gone. So on the nose, on the Akashi Blended Whisky, I do like it. And I was looking for excuses not to like it. But last night, I was looking for something that's complex. But when I realized it is a budget whiskey, it's a cheap whiskey. And of course, you're not going to find all those lovely things in something that is cheap. Well, relatively cheap, 36 euros for this bottle that I paid at the duty-free shop in Istanbul. Of course, I overpaid. I think you'll find it probably about 31 or maybe even less than $30 for the bottle. I like the lovely sweetness. There's a chocolate note in it, like almost a dark chocolate note. There's a little bit of a toasted nut, maybe a little bit of a walnut or a little bit of an almond. So nice toasty. The chocolate reminds me so much of chocolate fudge. That is nice. But if it settles down, it's almost like the smell is going away. So you need to wake it up a little bit. And then you get that burst of flavors. And of course you get a little bit of a burst of that huge 40% ABV that immediately also tells you that it is a young whiskey. 3 years and a bit. But then immediately it starts slowing down and less of aroma is coming out. There's also a little bit of a hint of a caramel. maybe a little bit of a toffee apple note coming out with a little bit of a appley fruit note in the back. There's also a little bit of a bourbon note in it, and I think that comes from that 70% grain that might or might not have a little bit of a corn in it, but I do get a little butterscotchy note also appearing. This is not bad for something that is not that expensive. And I do like this, and every time when you wake it up a little bit, you get that lovely aroma. So quite nice, friendly on the nose. And that's what I find with quite a lot of Japanese whiskey, the friendliness on the nose. So on the taste, cheers. So 40%, don't expect much. So there is almost, for me now, 0 alcohol on it. It's a little bit of a warm feeling going on, but I think I'm so climatized to the cask strength whiskey, so it doesn't really affect me much, especially on the taste. So there's not something that I will add water to, but there's a lovely sweetness in it, a lovely lingering sweetness of it, a little bit of a toffee note. Definitely that chocolate note is still there, and it's quite lovely. Not a dark chocolate, so there's not a lot of tannins in it. So there's a hint of a tannin that you can find at the end. Let me just give it a try. A hint of an espresso note. That chocolate, it reminds me when you get that, I think it's called trail mix, where you have nuts, all different type of nuts, and a little bit of chocolate bits in between. It reminds me of that nuttiness, and when you get that little chocolate sweetness every now and again. Quite nice actually. So the alcohol also, there is definitely a youthfulness on that alcohol. A little bit of an oak now coming in. Even on the nose, I get that little bit of the grainy oaky nose. I do like it. I cannot fault it. It reminds me a little bit of a walnut coming out. There's a little bit of a oakiness coming out. A little built up, and I found that last night as well. It built up to a certain level, not high, and then it just stays there. And I kept on going back, and I kept on going back. And so eventually it was finished. I said, okay, maybe one more. So after the 4th one, I said, okay, maybe I should stop. But so quite drinkable. But like I said, it's nothing special. It's a nice summer whiskey. Daytime drinking, I think this one also will be perfect for it. So I did enjoy this whiskey. It's not complex, it's not offensive, it's a very light whiskey, and it's quite drinkable. So in the end, I was thinking to myself that, will I be telling people that this is something that they must buy? I'm not 100% convinced on that one. This is something that I think if I finish the bottle, I would think twice if I'm going to buy it again. They do have a single malt, so I might maybe opt for the single malt Akashi to see if there's any difference and what the difference are. And I'm not sure about the price as well. But if you are new to whiskey and you just want a nice summer sipping whiskey, then it's definitely one that you would enjoy. Also for people that does not drink quite a lot of whiskey, I think you will enjoy it. And I think this is the market that they have in mind, an entry level whiskey that everybody can enjoy. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. We are now at 745 subscribers, so quite excited about that, ticking toward that 1000. And just a reminder as well that once we have reached that and we can get some AdSense from YouTube, all that money will go towards children in South Africa. Now it's not going to be much, but at least every cent count, so that we can help out some people that in a real desperate situation. We are looking at 75 children already for the last 6-7 years. So think about it, like and subscribe, spread the word. The faster we get to that 1000, the faster we can help the people. Thank you very much for the people that also reached out to me that said they will try to assist. And of course, I have that Patreon account where if you want to start donating to the children, 100% of that money will go towards them. We don't take any commission or anything. We take that money, we take it to South Africa, and we will buy them food and clothing with that money. So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers!